Yo, what up? It's your boy Southside Geek 860 back with another video. And just like the last video, like I said, my Wi-Fi's been fucking up or my computer's been going really slow. So sorry if the video goes from 1080p to 720p to 3060. I mean, to 3060 to 360 all the way back to 1080p. Sorry about that. But this is that video that I asked last video if I posted it, if you wanted me to watch it, even though I already watched it. But like I said in that video too, I only watched it once, so it should still be like, I don't remember everything from the video. So anyways, this is another video from Andy M. Lee, and the video is Superhero Fan Cast You Won't Shut Up About. Let's get it. Once again, don't bear with me with the computer going slow and buffering if it happens. Let's get it.
Rachel, right? No. Well, you've seen Rachel, right? No. Well, Alan Richardson, 2-time superhero actor, well, 3-time superhero actor, because Rachel's basically a superhuman. He would
Remember, I already watched this once, but it's been a minute, so I don't remember everything.
be the perfect Batman for the DCU. Okay, cool. No, I mean it. He's got the size, he's got the action feats, he's good looking, dude. Trust me, he was born to play Batman. Okay, yeah, sure, maybe. No, I'm serious. You have to see him in Rachel to know what I'm talking about. Okay. Jesus Christ, dude.
I think I want to get that kind of mic.
He said he'll play Batman for free.
So that I could just move around and shit.
Requests to do my own fan casting video, like who would I pick for the MCU's X-Men, or who would I pick for the DCU's Batman? And there are reasons why I've never done one. First of all, I know for a fact that no matter who I pick, whoever ends up getting chosen in real life will be 100 times better pick than whoever I chose. So I'll just look like an idiot if someone watches the fan casting video a few years later and it'll be like, bro really wanted that actor as Cyclops? Too bad he didn't.
Yeah, I for sure forgot about this video. Like,
kids with Diddy. Second, when I'm watching something, I'm not.
Huh?
Did a casting video a few years later and it'll be like,
sir, what?
Wanted that actor as Cyclops? Too bad he didn't know that he was secretly a racist and was touching kids with
Oh,
Diddy.
he's talking about like, okay,
I'm not like,
nigga.
He would be a really good Batman. Unless it's really bad, I'm usually just enjoying what I'm watching. When someone else is just an actor for a role, I can be like, oh yeah, I can see that after that really popular role that that actor had. I'm not really actively thinking about this shit. And third of all, the best castings are usually the ones that you don't expect. Heath Ledger as Joker, Robert Pattinson as Batman, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. So it's impossible for me to circumvent that. Like, how would I do a good casting that's unexpected when I'm doing the casting, so I would expect the casting? Also, I feel like an actor campaigning for a role usually hurts their chances of getting the actual role, exceptions being Simu Liu for Shang-Chi and David Cornsworth for Superman. So that is why I'll be going through the internet's favorite.
That's right, I forgot about that.
Hurts the chances of getting the actual.
These niggas really manifest that shit. Like Tom Holland too. Nigga said in an interview when he was young, well, I would really love to play Spider-Man. And he also said in another interview, or I think the same interview, that he would also love for Zendaya to be his girlfriend or some shit like that. Look at this nigga now, fucking. I don't want to say lucky because he's not lucky. He put in the work, but still, lucky ass nigga.
Role, exceptions being Simu Liu for Shang-Chi and David Cornsworth for Superman. So that is why I'll be going through the internet's favorite fan cast instead. This is what's called not putting myself out there and shielding myself from any potential criticism. I'm kidding. I'll chuck in my thoughts in as well. All right, first one we got is obviously Alan Richardson as Batman. Let's get this out of the way. Mr. Richardson's had a very rich history with DC. He played Aquaman in Smallville, and he also played Hawk in Titans. And apart from DC, and most importantly, he played Thad Castle in Blue Mountain State. Recently, he's been playing the non-short version of Jack Reacher on the Amazon Prime series, which people really seem to love. I haven't seen it, but I'll add it to my list of TV shows I have to watch. Why are there so many TV shows to watch? So why is everyone saying that Alan Richardson should be Batman?
Oh wait, let me see his comics. Oh, that's just some of them right there. So he got the 3 Invincible Compendiums. He has Kingdom Come. He has a Batman trade paperback. I'm trying to see what it is though. Anyways, the only ones that I can make out right now are the 3 Invincible Compendiums, Kingdom Come, and a Batman trade paperback issue. Anyways.
TV shows to watch. So why is everyone saying that Alan Richardson should be Batman? First of all, He's got the physique. The guy is huge. Ask anyone who's into fitness and they'll tell you how impressive this guy's physique is, even compared to professional bodybuilders. I don't care if he takes alternative supplements. The genetics and the work ethic needed to maintain that muscle mass is fucking unreal. The guy makes Henry Cavill look like an ant. Get that through your head. And by definition, Batman is peak human physique. So yeah, I can see that. However, if Alan Ritchson does become Batman in DCU, this will make the second Batman to be able to mug their Superman counterpart just by pure mass and size. You thought Ben Affleck Batman was big? Meet Alan Ritchson Batman. He doesn't even need a Batmobile. He just wears one of those cardboard wearable things that they wear in theater plays, and he just tramples down the streets of Gotham. Second, like I mentioned before, he's had experience with DC, so he knows what it takes to be in the superhero role. And third of all, it seems like he really wants to be Batman.
I would love to play Batman.
I seen this.
There, I said it, okay? I'll shout it from the rooftops. I want to be Bruce Wayne.
In fact, apparently you wouldn't even have to pay the guy because that's how much of a hard-on he has for the role.
Would I pay handsomely to be Batman? You wouldn't even have to pay me to be Batman. I would, yeah, I'd don the suit. Gotham is mine. But
yeah, okay.
I don't even have to practice. It just
Okay.
comes out naturally.
And I respect that, okay?
Yo, one thing my fault for that in the background if you heard that. One thing I will say, bro, this nigga Alan Ritchson, bro, that nigga is hilarious, bro. Search up like Alan Ritchson being funny on YouTube. Dog, this nigga's he could be fucking hilarious, dog. I never knew how funny he was until I seen those clips. I also can tell you exactly right now what movies and shows those clips were from. But that's what I'm telling you. Search it up on YouTube. Alan Ritchson being funny. Dude, that nigga is hilarious, bro. Like, I did not because he's this, then the third. No, I just didn't expect that from him because I always seen him in like serious roles. So when I seen some of his early work and some of his comedic work, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this nigga's actually funny. It kind of reminded me of like Chris Hemsworth when he played the way he played Thor in Thor Ragnarok compared to the last two films or in the Marvel movies in general. It was like, dude, holy shit, this nigga's actually funny, bro. And it's not corny. It doesn't seem cringe. I'm trying to say, like, but anyways, search that up, bro. I promise you, you'll laugh.
If you're gonna take on a role like Batman, you have to be super passionate about it, like David Cornsweet is about Superman. So if you've been on the internet for the past year or so, you've probably seen at least 1 in a million articles about this potential casting. And what are my thoughts? Well, I'm not sure. Physically, obviously he's a match. However, I haven't seen him in enough dramatic roles to prove that he can bring a Batman level intensity that can be felt through a screen. He probably can,
Remember,
but
yeah,
I
sorry
personally
again
just haven't
once
seen
again
it
for the
yet.
quality.
I think from what I've seen, he'd be better off playing someone more stoic than Batman or someone more witty
shit
and
geeking.
loose. The guy clearly has good comedic timing, like he's funny. So on the chill side, maybe someone like Wildcat. I mean, Wildcat's a boxer in the DC universe. I feel like Alan Ritchson's size would at least justify how he's not dead after fighting supervillains. More funny roles, I think Booster Gold would be a good fit. Booster Gold is basically a jock and is pretty lighthearted, so I think it's a pretty good fit. Also, especially because Kumail Nanjiani supposedly dropped out of the roles and James Gunn's really interested in the character, so maybe we can get that started. Or if it's more stoic and more...
And I hope Kumail, I hope I'm saying that right, Kumail, didn't drop out because the backlash on the internet for people, you know, on the internet. I hope he didn't drop out because of that, man. That sucks.
In line with what I've seen on Reacher, maybe someone like Captain Atom. But to state the obvious, a physical match isn't enough to bring someone to a role like Batman. Batman has an insanely talented backlog of actors and is gonna be one of the pillars of the DCU, so I think it's good they're not really rushing this casting. Well, if you haven't heard about this fan casting in a while, just wait until The Boys comes back for another season and you will be drowning in it. Listen, let's get this out of the way. Just like Alan Ritchson, he's got the looks. Which is crazy to say because guess what? He's older than Alan Ritchson. By 5 years. That's not just me, right? That's insane. And also like Alan Ritchson, he's had a pretty thorough history with DC. He was in Smallville as a coach guy. He was for some reason dating a high schooler for some reason. He had a stellar performance as Jason Todd in Batman Under the Red Hood. And of course...
And he sounds so young as Jason Todd. I mean, that could probably be him making his voice sound younger, but he sounds so young there compared to how he sounds now. Because I'm saying it because you could tell he got older. But yeah, go listen to him. He sounds so young there. He sounds like a young. If you want to hear Jensen Ackles as a teenager or as a young adult, go watch Batman and Robin, or Batman. Oh, what the fuck? What? Anyways, the shit that he just said.
Of course, he literally voiced Batman with DC. He was in Smallville as a coach guy. He was, for some reason, dating a high schooler for some reason. He had a stellar performance as Jason Todd in Batman Under the Red Hood. And of course, he literally voiced Batman in the Tomorrowverse movies. I'm not gonna go into my tangent about the quality of those movies, but you know, I'd say he was pretty alright in them. And it wouldn't be the first time we had a DC voice actor make it on screen as the same character. Zoe Kravitz played Catwoman in the Lego Batman movie, and then she went on to play Catwoman in The Batman. Meg
Bro, I didn't
Donnelly
find that out
played
till after.
Supergirl in
That's
the
crazy.
Tomorrowverse movie. She was actually on the shortlist to play Supergirl in the DCU. Like, she screen tested and everything. So yeah, wouldn't rule it out as impossible, you know? And let's not forget that sick Halloween shoot he did with his Batman costume, which, safe to say, he wouldn't mind getting the role. So what do I think about this potential casting? I'm gonna be frank, the first issue I see is his age.
Wait,
the guy
wait,
may
wait,
not look
whoa,
like
whoa,
it, but
whoa,
he
whoa.
is 47.
That was real?
Safe as impossible, you know? And let's not forget that sick Halloween shoot he did with his Batman
Oh, this is real? Oh, shit. I thought he was making a joke. The mouth, though. I'm not gonna lie, the mouth looks funny. Look at this. Look at him. This one right here. Oh, wait, no. Am I doing it right?
costume, which, safe to say, he wouldn't mind getting the role. So what do I think about this potential casting? I'm gonna be frank, the first issue I see is his age. The guy may not look like it, but he is 47. So by the time we get Batman on screen, maybe the earliest possible in the DCU, he will be at least 50 years old. And if we want someone to be a pillar of the DCU that's just starting up, we want someone who can carry it for a pretty long while. Robert Downey Jr. was 41 when he was cast for Iron Man 1. And even that was a bit, hey, how you doing? Because this time we want Batman to be in his prime when he's in the Justice League, right? I also haven't seen Jensen Ackles in any dramatic roles, and I don't think Soldier Boy from The Boys really counts.
No, bush like a Pomeranian. What? I beat my meat into a cup.
You need a very sharp intensity for Batman, and I can't make a sound judgment on whether Mr. Ackles has it or not, maybe literally because I haven't seen enough of him. So from what I've seen of him, who could I possibly see him as other than Batman? First, I have Sportsmaster. I know, it's a bit random.
This is gonna sound crazy. I don't know if y'all can agree with me. I could see him playing Black Mask. Get a little skinnier, get a little more thin. Or not even, fuck it, let it be a big black mask. I'm trying to say, like a big buff black mask. Pause. Y'all agree with me? That just came to my head right now because I could kind of hear him as Black Mask. I'm trying to say, he's an actor. I'm pretty sure he could change up his voice too to make him sound a little more crazy. I'm trying to say. Y'all agree? Let me know.
But I'm pretty sure he'd do a really good job. I'm just picturing the Young Justice version of the character. I don't know too much about him in the comics. A second, I don't know if this is off the table now, but I think he'd make a pretty decent Deadshot. I've seen people cast him as Hal Jordan, and I feel like you need a very inherent charm to play Hal Jordan, and I haven't really seen that from him yet. It's probably because I haven't seen a single season from the 15 years of Supernatural, so maybe that's on me. Anyway, he has The Boys spin-off coming soon, so you know, he's busy anyway. Speaking of The Boys, you would have to be blind to not see this fan casting anywhere on the internet. It's Anthony Starr as Eobard Thawne, aka Professor Zoom, aka the Reverse Flash.
I don't care what he's about to say. This would be a fire. Let me know what y'all think. I think this shit would be fire. I've heard this shit so many times. Every time I hear it, I say and think the same shit. It's incredible fan casting.
I feel like this fan casting only took off because of that one really weird Photoshop of his Homelander head on that Injustice
that does look weird as
2
hell.
Reverse Flash body. I have seen that image so many times, I'm pretty sure if I blink hard enough, I can see it just etched into my retinas. So the reason people want Anthony Starr's Reverse Flash is basically because of one role, and that one role is Anthony Starr in the Banshee TV show. Critically acclaimed, everyone loves it, one of the internet's underrated TV shows. It's Homelander, yeah. It's Homelander.
Yeah.
Oh, he can play
Yeah.
Psycho there, so surely he can play a psycho heel, right? I mean, you can't deny it. He's pretty good at that. But Anthony Starr strikes me as an actor who doesn't really want to do the same kind of role twice.
Yeah,
Also,
I don't
and
think-
this is
I don't
just me
think he
making
will.
assumptions. I feel like he just really hates having a fan base as big as the one from The Boys. I remember when people kept asking this guy whether he was going to voice Homelander
In Mortal
in
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 1,
Yes.
even after he said no multiple times. And I swear to God, I can see Homelander just bubble up inside of him.
Yes.
It looked like he was just going to laser the fucking crowd.
You watch.
Hey, have you seen Call of Duty? I voice Call of Duty. So go play that.
Anyway, would he make a good Eobard Thawne if he was passionate about the role? Of course he would. What are you talking about? He's got a menacing screen presence. He's a non-fat white guy, so he meets the physical traits of Eobard Thawne. But I think this fan casting has been overplayed to death a little, and I like my casting announcements with a bit of surprise, you know, a bit of pizzazz. Also, James Gunn strikes me as the kind of guy to favor the Rogues or other funky Flash villains over someone like Reverse Flash. Plus, we already saw Gorilla Grodd in the DCU, so he's also a likely choice to be a main Flash villain. But if not Reverse Flash, who do I think the talented Mr. Starr could play? Two-Face? I think he'd kill it as Two-Face. You know, he's got the emotional intensity to do so. The Question definitely got that unhinged factor down, and it's a step away from the capes and spandex, which I think he would appreciate.
Isn't there a Question omnibus? Because I want to know more about that character. Because I know Renee Montoya becomes the Question, like a legacy version of the Question. I would love to read more about this dude.
But if we want to go more obvious routes,
Once
I
again,
think
I'm
he'd
sorry
make
for the
a
quality,
pretty
y'all.
decent Norman Osborn. It's a bit of a boring cast, and maybe he's a bit too rugged looking for it. But you know, we've seen him play evil and crazy, so there you go. Oh, right, okay, because she's young and she's hot and the character just so happens to have revealing clothing in the places that you like to look at, is that right? Dude, this is such uncreative casting, okay? It's also just so repetitive, okay? Just put in some effort into your fan casting and
Also,
stop being
Sydney Sweeney, great actor, great actress, but I don't think she has that Black Cat energy. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't think she has that charm, man. Like, don't get me wrong, she looks great, but like, that's just half of it. You know what I'm trying to say? You know how bro, I know everybody and their moms or whoever's watching me right now, and like matter of fact, like I said before, everybody and their moms done play Spider-Man from the PS4. There's so many other examples, but like that's the most recent one I could think of. Dude, like the way the voice actress plays Black Cat in that game, that's what we need for Black Cat in live action. I'm trying to say, and I don't feel like Sydney Sweeney has that. She has the looks for damn sure. Like I said, that's just half of it though.
so lazy. Oh, right, okay, because she's young and she's hot and the character just so happens to have revealing clothing in the places that you like to look at, is that right? Dude, this is such uncreative casting, okay? It's also just so repetitive, okay? Just put in some effort into your fan casting and stop being so lazy.
This nigga did the same thing twice.
Oh, right, okay, because she's young and she's hot and the character just so happens to have revealing clothing in the places that you like to look at, is that right? Dude, this is such uncreative casting, okay? It's also just so repetitive, okay? Just put in some effort into your fan casting and stop being so lazy. Listen, I know we want a short Wolverine because Hugh Jackman was too tall or whatever, but Taron Egerton isn't even that short. He's 5'9". I mean, I guess to Hollywood, 5'9" is like 5 foot to them. But at least Wolverine and Apocalypse will be able to see each other eye to eye. But in all seriousness, Taron Egerton, he's a brilliant actor. I used to be like, what? Him as Wolverine? Now I'm pretty confident that if he wants to fall into the role, he will fucking disappear and he will do Wolverine
Yep.
justice. Supposedly, he's already met Kevin Feige about
What was I gonna say? One thing I will say, and don't worry, I'm after this, I'm not gonna pause it for a few. And if I do, I'm just gonna talk. And if I want to say something, I'm just gonna talk while the video's playing. Whoever's gonna play Wolverine has to have that berserker rage. That's what they need to have. But like, when it's time for them to snap, I want them to be able to like, oh shit, you know what I'm trying to say? Oh shit, this nigga finna turn up. You know what I'm trying to say? That's one major thing that the actor has to bring to the role. And of course, you know, play the softer side, the emotional side, which is, you know, for Wolverine, it's like still kind of low key berserker race, but you know what I'm trying to say. That's the only thing that I need the actor to bring. they need to be able to get into that berserker rage, and like I want to see that shit in their eyes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, oh, and they have to have an awesome scream, cause bro, that berserker rage and then, bro, dude. But anyways, back to the video.
Playing Wolverine, he's a bit babyface, but I'm not gonna doubt the guy. Like, if I had to bet my nutsack on whether he'd be a good Wolverine, I'd be like 70% sure that I'd be able to have kids. Also, the guy's a big fan of transforming physically. Like, he can put in the work, so I'm not really worried looks-wise. If this wasn't already a popular fan casting and he was actually cast as Wolverine, this would have been another
Dude, he was great in Kingsman
scenario where, you know, everyone hates on it, and then when he turns out that he's good at playing the character, everyone just pretends that they were a fan all along. But if Taron Egerton wasn't going to play Wolverine, who do I think he'd be a good fit for? First, I got Richard Rider Nova, but just know this, I know nothing about the character, so this is kind of just based off vibes.
Neither do I.
I think he would also be a good Barry Allen. I know that might tip people a bit sideways, but that's just my opinion. He looks like he'd be a good uncle to a young Wally West, you know what I mean? And people might hate me for this one, but I'm gonna say John Constantine. I know we all love Matt Ryan from the CW stuff, and he looked ripped from a comic book page, but I think Taron Egerton, he would fucking kill it. And if anyone's gonna complain about looks not matching, we had Keanu Reeves play Constantine. Keanu Reeves. He's not even British, for God's sake. I don't know why it's so much easier for me to think of DC characters, but Captain Cold as well. Music Meister, because he has stage experience, and also he literally won a fucking Golden Globe for playing Elton John. Hello? I think there are a lot of characters for Taron Egerton to play. Another guy who's not 6 foot and is white, so apparently he's perfect to play Wolverine. First hurdle to get over for him is the fact that he played Harry Potter for 20 years or whatever. But to be honest, I don't think that's too much of a hurdle. If it's good enough as Wolverine, it'll be enough to break the association on screen. I know he's known for taking on weird roles post Harry Potter, which, you know, good on him, to be honest. The guy probably has enough
doing what he
money
wanna
to do
do.
any indie project he wants and just live out his days super comfortably. Do I think he'd make a good Wolverine though? Well, he's clearly not opposed to getting in shape for a role, which is good. I just don't know if he can pull off that innate gruffness in his face and his voice. Would love to be proven wrong though. But I think the best route for Wolverine in general is just to find a undiscovered middle-aged actor who's just super talented but just hasn't had the opportunity to shine on the big screen. Anyway, Daniel Radcliffe, I can definitely see him as Mad Hatter or Riddler, someone more loosey-goosey. But, and I really don't mean this as an insult, but I feel like he would really love to play Condiment King. From what I've seen of the other roles he's chosen to take on, I feel like he will just eat the Condiment King role up so hard. And of course, for our final fan casting, we have Tom Holland as any white guy that's not in Marvel or DC.
As everyone.
Ben 10, chuck him in there. Danny Phantom, chuck him in there. Atlantis, The Lost Empire, whatever the fuck that movie's called. Chuck him in there. Do you really think Tom Holland's gonna sign on to another big franchise after he told the world that he's gonna ditch the acting industry after he has kids? In the right role, Tom Holland is so insanely talented. Like, let's be honest, he's been doing this shit as a kid, so it's not really a surprise. I haven't seen Uncharted, and I don't plan on seeing Uncharted, but that might be an omen regarding how far casting capabilities can go. And let's be real,
that was not it, bro. That movie was not it. It was fun.
Movies,
I enjoyed it.
Other Avengers movies
but
as well.
The story was
like, let the guy leave. And yes, I know there was a bunch of other fan casting favorites from the internet that I had to cut from this video. So if we want a part 2, just let me know. And while we're talking about wishful thinking,
and that's the one that we watched first.
Moments we have yet to see in live action. So check that out if you haven't already. Check out my second channel for random vlogs and videos, and check out my other new discussion channel for weekly reviews for TV shows and stuff, and you know, news coverage and all that. Check out my letterbox and Instagram, and I'll see you next week. See ya.
So, like the last video, let me know what y'all think. All these actors, what would y'all like to see them play in Marvel or DC, or in any other role? Doesn't have to be Marvel, DC. Could be any film, any show, any character for a reboot or whatever the fuck. Let me know in the comments. But yeah. So, like always, like, comment, subscribe. Deuces.